I half quit, half got fired. I'm grateful they only gave me 2 weeks because after I quit, every sale, I was like, there's no way this lady just gave me $2,500. That would take me over 2 months in the corporate world. Quitting was never an option for me. I became really passionate about business and marketing. I help creators monetize their social media and secure paid brand deals. If you really want it, show up and you'll have it. Trust the process. It's impossible to fail if you don't quit.
What's up, my beautiful freedompreneurs? We are out here with Yelina. Cheers to your health.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. KUBA and I go way back.
Yes, like a few years now. And I find your journey interesting because you started as a client in our program. Now you're a coach. You have your own business. So you've got a lot of experience in entrepreneurship. Can you tell people about your background and what got you to leave your corporate job? I know you were in the corporate world. And how did that lead to entrepreneurship and joining our team?
Yeah, for sure. I've learned so much more in the last 3 years. So I left the corporate world in October 2020 and I joined with Ted in November 2020. I learned so much more than I ever did in school. I feel a lot more wise in so many more areas too than like intelligently. And it's just, you learn things you don't in school because of the ups and downs and opportunities and challenges that come with entrepreneurship. But it's all great. It's all fun.
If you want to make money as a content creator, make sure to check the free guide below that shows you how to do it and get started today. Let's get back into the video.
Back to your question. I went to college, moved away from home for a little bit for college. I wanted that experience and I was doing the normal thing, go to college, get a big girl job. I worked in a restaurant through college. I moved back to Miami after 2.5 years and got a job at Hard Rock. I worked for Hard Rock Corporate. It's a massive worldwide company.
Is that the Hard Rock Cafe?
Yeah, so the Hard Rock Hotel, the Hard Rock Cafe, the Hard Rock Casino. I started at the call center for 6 months, which I didn't want to. But they were like, hey, just do this for 6 months. Then we'll promote you. This is just a stepping stone. Once you do this, you'll go into the big building, which is where the big bosses are. All of that seemed very attractive to me at the time. I did it 3 months in. I started hating it. It was like a 45-minute drive every morning, hour and a half, afternoon after work because of the distance and the traffic. I just really hated having to be somewhere on Mondays. I did not fully enjoy my Sundays because I knew the next day I had to be up early, get ready, and take calls and honestly take bullshit from people because not all of these customers are happy. So the last 3 months were sad. They were really sad, but I stuck it out because in my mind, all I had is this promotion. And they did stick to their word. They did promote me literally 6 months hit and within 2 weeks, I was in the other building. I'm a person who loves change. I like diversity and constantly like trying new things. And so I loved the new job. But then after a while, I was like, no way. It's just everything that I was trying there just didn't feel aligned for me. I loved my team. My old boss is awesome. I'm still friends with her to this day. And we catch up here and there. I got promoted within a year in the office as well, but to contract, which I disliked even more. Like anything that has to do with contracts and law, I'm not a fan. I got a 30-cent raise, okay? I went from $15 an hour to $15.30. Even my boss was embarrassed to tell me my raise. I remember sitting with her. She was acknowledging my hard work and promoting me. And then she tells me the raise and we're just both like, oh, what is this? So that was a funny moment. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I would love to pay you so much more, but these are the company's budget. You would think a multi-billion-dollar company. Crazy. Too many people were underpaid. I wasn't the only one complaining. I was there for 2 years and then COVID happened. We were on furlough. I was on furlough for 7 months. And it was during those 7 months where I started getting involved with entrepreneurship. I don't agree with this business model anymore, but I joined a multi-level marketing company selling super green powders and mushroom powders, sharing my vegan recipes and health tips on Instagram, which I started in 2017.
Because you're passionate vegan.
Yeah, I started in 2017. I went vegan while I was in college. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to share my recipes online, not thinking I was going to grow this whole community out of it, even less use it as my main business platform. I learned about meditation, breath work, and Kundalini yoga. I started journaling and lost 23 pounds. I went hard for 60 days. I leveled up career-wise, mentally, and physically. Going back to work that first week, I was like, no way, I cannot be here. My plan was I'm going to just go online and sell vegan recipe ebooks. That was my plan. Other than that, I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I told my boss, I was like, I'll leave in December. But the big boss, because I had access to so much sensitive information, he was like, no, if she plans to leave, she has to put in her 2 weeks. So I half quit, half got fired. I'm grateful they only gave me 2 weeks because after I quit, I saw an ad from Ted on Instagram. It was a big yellow thing with bold text letters and said, who wants to coach online? Something like that. And I clicked. I went through his funnel, which, hey, I'm living proof that his funnel worked. So yeah, the business method, the business flow. And then, yeah, I watched the webinar. I didn't finish it, but Mr. Teddy kept emailing me. He's like, hey, I didn't finish the webinar the first time. It was so long. It was like an hour and a half. And I started it a little bit too late, so I was getting sleepy. And I kept getting follow-up emails. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll finish the webinar. And I finished it. I booked the call, joined, paid in full right there. I knew I wanted to go on this path. This was when CCA was still a thing.
Course Creator Academy.
Yeah, where Ted was still doing a couple of weekly calls. Long story short, my transformation was weight loss. That's what I started coaching. 2 months later, I got my first paying client. For the following 5 months, I was selling high ticket clients. I had 3 months where I got 2 clients each month, and I was selling it between 2 to 3K. So I was making $6,000 each month. It was great. I couldn't believe it. Every sale, I was like, there's no way this lady just gave me $2,500 in full to help her with her health. That would take me over 2 months in the corporate world to make that kind of money. I was only making $470 a week. And this lady gave me $2,500 in an hour.
So you realized you made a good decision.
Oh, absolutely. Even some family members and my boyfriend at the time, they were hesitant about it. And that's the thing too. As a coach now, I see a lot of people have this fear and money scarcity. It's not getting these massive results right away, but what we teach and what we do works. You have to trust the process. And unfortunately, it's not the same timeline for everyone. We have different niches, show up differently online, different audiences. And some platforms work better for us than others and vice versa. But it's just about continuing to build the momentum and trusting the process. That's exactly what I did. I just didn't let mistakes or fear or failures try to get me to quit. Quitting was never an option for me.
Success was the only option for you. How did that get you to where you are today? You're a coach and you have your own business, which is completely different.
Yeah, I became really passionate about business and marketing, crafting your offer, getting clear on your niche, optimizing social media. I really liked masterminding and brainstorming, all that stuff, so much more than the health and fitness stuff. And it was during that exact time too, where I started having brands reach out to me to work with them and do sponsorships with them. I had never done this before. I was like, wait, I like this side of things more. I'm just not going to do health and fitness coaching anymore. Started doing UGC on its own. It was honestly, I started really getting a lot of opportunities with UGC. I was like, cool, I'm going to do this for a while. It is user-generated content. As a creator, you create content for brands, right? Whether it's a physical product, an app, a software, and they go ahead and use that for ad marketing or organic posts on socials. That's UGC.
And they give you a certain amount of money for that?
Correct. Yeah, they pay me depending how many videos I'm making. If I'm shooting photos, let's say like the brand hired me, like I'd probably make a morning routine video and filling up my water or using it at the gym. You agree to a contract. Some brands give you a brief, some don't, meaning a brief is the creator brief, which they tell you exactly what you to say, what to film. Other brands are like, here's the product. We love your style. Do as you please. So depending on which route it goes, I change my prices, not too much, but yeah. And then after every certain time, I raise my rate because I know the value of content that I can provide, especially these brands are using them for ads to bring in more revenue and it's working and converting. I can use these stats now also to work with other brands and charge more. Or you can do a sponsorship where it's the same thing, but the content on your own social. Working with Ted and KUBA, we help coaches make money online with their own coaching program. If you want to travel while you're at it, do it. KUBA travels. I've been traveling the last 6 months as well. And my program is I help creators monetize their social media and learn how to secure paid brand deals and work with brands they love by creating content for their socials and the brand. Because you do still need to create brand posts on your socials because it's technically your second portfolio. It's how brands find you. I solely depend on inbound. I don't reach out to brands anymore. I did when I first started, but now with my content on socials, my portfolio in my bio, brands see me and contact me. And that started happening maybe 4 to 5 months after getting into UGC. I stopped doing gifted partnerships and I started seeing brands coming to me to help you make your first 5K as a content creator. Step by step, I put into an ebook exactly what I did those first 4 months to get paid partnerships and more inbounds. I didn't use ChatGPT. I did it myself. And then I also have a creator guide. If you want to travel and partner with hotels, hostels, Airbnbs, we stayed a month for free in Costa Rica at a hostel for a partnership. We did teach you a little about that. Or are you ready to make money as a creator? While my one-on-one services still last, I'm going to scale and move into group coaching because one-on-one is time consuming. DM me directly. You can say you watched the podcast with KUBA and we'll work something out.
I'll put your Instagram below for people who want to slide into your DMs and get into a conversation.
Slide into my DMs, people.
Can you share some standout moments or major decisions that propelled you from being a client in our program to being a coach? Instead of just going in on your business, you decided, all right, I'm going to be a coach for TED and for entrepreneurs.
I am eternally grateful for Ted. He really changed my life. He put so much belief in me and the business. He saw my drive and my commitment. He was there for me. His team has been supportive since day one. And I tell clients sometimes, like when they were battling between people, I'm like, hey, look, I'm not just saying this because I'm part of the team, but truthfully, we are a team that will go above and beyond for your success. That is definitely our commitment. So Ted is a great person. And I just saw him as a great guy, as a mentor, as a coach. When he created VIP Weekend, he needed coaches. I was there weekly, learning the ins and outs. He's like, you are the person that I know right now that knows most of my brain. And he asked me if I wanted to be on the team. And I was honored. I was like, yeah, absolutely. I would love to work with you. It wouldn't steer me away from my business. What's great is as time goes by, we grow, right? Our time becomes more valuable. Ted helps us out to find a way like, okay, how can we still your time worthy of being on my team, but still be on the team? You know what I mean?
Yeah, making sure we're all taken care of. So Yelina, you were a client, successful in your own business, then joined the team, and now you're a coach on Entrepreneurs, helping clients do the similar things what you did before. So someone who's been in the shoes of our clients, what advice do you have for those looking to follow a similar path?
Time is money. I put in a lot of hours when I first started. I was jobless. I had limited distractions. Focus is really what it comes down to. I compare my business to when I was extremely focused to when I've been not extremely focused. And I see the difference in the result. So the amount that I show up for the business, just stay focused, find your workflow. But you need to find your why as well. That is also really important. Money cannot be the only driver here. And truly commit to it. If you really want it, it's going to happen, but you need to commit. You need to show up. We can give you templates, but you need to meet us halfway if you want to. I posted about this the other day. If someone is struggling with something and they come to us for help and we give them the answers, but they still don't do it, it's okay if you don't really want it. If you really want it, show up and you'll have it. And don't be afraid to ask questions. I asked so many questions showing up to all the calls. And do the freaking homework and trust the process. That's the one thing too. Even sometimes Ted told me to do something that I was like, how does that make sense? I asked, I wanted to know how it made sense. But why would I not take advice from someone who's already doing something I want to do? If it doesn't feel right, that's different from not understanding it. Seek clarity and act on it.
Now you lead the group calls in our community and people are asking you a bunch of questions. You got to answer them.
I love those group calls.
I've been doing them with you lately, and it's really fun. Yeah, it's fun helping people, seeing them grow. I love when people take the advice and come next week. Like I took your advice. We saw a few people like really level up, and that's the people that come to the calls regularly, ask questions, get feedback regularly. Like you said, success is the only option. All you got to do is keep taking steps towards it.
If we have a failure, we learn from it and do better. I'm like, okay, what do we do now? Having that mental shift is really key. And I started listening to Russ Ted put me on. This man has songs with lyrics that make you feel like the baddest bee in town. It's so motivating. I was test driving Teslas as well. I'm like, oh my God, okay, this is motivating. It all ties into feeling it's a secret that Ted always
Yeah, yeah, Russ is big into that. He read all those books too, like the manifestation and attracting abundance and all that. And he's a prime example of someone who seems like he failed for 10 years, putting up records that flopped, but he kept trusting the product. It took him 10 years of just having that vision, and he's like, I'm reaching my vision no matter what. And then once one of his things hit, his next thing hit, his whole album hit, and then he had 6 months of songs ready. Instead of putting out albums, he put out singles, and then those blew up faster, and then he put out another single. And now look at Russ. He's got songs with Snoop Dogg and all these famous people. He's a millionaire. Massive. But he did not give up. So that's why Ted puts us on Russ, because he speaks this language, and he's an example of someone who knows success is the only option. Ted mentions the heart has to be there. You have to have your why, which is like the heart. He says is like, he has this triangle with 4 levels, and it's like the heart is the main part. The triangle, like you got to have that foundation. And after that, you got to have the head. So I guess like being in the right headspace, knowing what you're doing, the direction you're heading, having your vision. Then the hands to make it happen. Heart, your head, and your hands, so you're ready to make it happen. The top of the triangle is the how. It's the smallest part. Everyone thinks the how is most important, but the how can be anything. As long as your heart is there, you got your why, your head, you got your hands to work. You'll make it happen some way or another. So there's millions of ways to do things online, but people always want to know how. So can you recommend how people can do this themselves? What is a good strategy for someone who wants to get started with their online venture?
I really want to touch on that real quick, because I completely agree. Because if your why is not there and you're not mentally in a good place, there's no way you're going to have the energy or the clarity or the ability to focus to do the how. It's more than technicalities. Our health, our mental has to be on point. In Mexico, we barely did business related things. We were rushing it with fitness and health, like cold plunges, jogs, morning routines, all of that. To answer your question, just start posting, and you will figure out what type of content you actually love to post the most, what type of content your community like. If you love fashion, post about it. If you love food, post about it. If you like to share vlogs, post your fitness routine, post your travel stuff, and you will gravitate toward the avenue that you enjoy more. And obviously, if you post more of that, you build your community on that type of content. And it's like you let your niche find you rather than you having to decide from the start. That's what I did. I was like, I'm vegan, I'm going to cook, I'm just going to post these recipes. I had no idea I was going to end up being a coach teaching that stuff. Without me posting that stuff, I might not have gone the direction I did, at least not in the flow and time that I did, Start posting, let your niche find you, and don't stress about perfection and what people are thinking. Literally just do you. I like to think of socials as like my life diary. Get controversial, but don't get disrespectful. Be vulnerable, unreal. Share the downs as well, not just the ups. You don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a fancy mic. I honestly love TikTok so much more right now, but I'm starting to bring more of that casualty onto my Instagram, because my Instagram was always like the feed and the different style of editing. Right? It has to be a little bit more perfect than TikTok. On TikTok, I have talked about struggles on my UGC journey, about traveling. I put funny stuff with my best friend, recipes, health tips, stuff about my past relationship. I love posting all of that. It's so different on Instagram. It has to be up to some certain par. One of my most recent posts was like something I would have just posted on TikTok. I'm like, hey, you know what? We posted on Instagram. And I did.
What was that?
It was a video of me and Belen dancing for 10 seconds. I
reposted that on my story because you had a good message. Literally nobody is thinking about you or cares what you're doing. So just have joy in that.
Exactly. Yeah, that one. It was fun. Okay, cool. I didn't even know you posted it.
I put it on my
posted
story.
Yours too. The one we're all in it.
In Mexico. So listen, you're talking about getting raw and real. Let's get into some juicy details right now. I'm curious because you've been traveling a lot. You bring your business with you wherever you go. Has that been a struggle? How has that been affecting your relationships with your family and friends back home? Any lovers you have to leave behind? Tell me some juicy details of your life. traveling content creator?
I love questions like these. Relationship with family, fine. They know I'm the one in the family that, like I said, I like change, diversity, exploring, and trying new things. I'm the one in the family
your
that's
hair's like up. Did you notice?
Thanks.
I just feel like girls are usually picky about that. You might get mad I didn't say nothing later.
No, I appreciate it. Is that good now? What was I saying? They support me. They're just like, okay, you're a little crazy. But literally, yeah, I had a completely different plan for the next 6 months. Yesterday, in 45 minutes, it turns around. Belen was like, we changed our plans as much as we changed our underwear. I thought that was so funny. When I'm away on travel, I talk to my mom 5 out of 7 days, even if it's a quick check-in. Hey, you live? Cool, good. FaceTime here and there. My cousin. I did think I was going to have more time to FaceTime because I'm a FaceTime girl. Like, I love being on Zoom. I love being on FaceTime. So I told my best friends before our trip, yeah, I'm going to FaceTime you while we're getting ready, catch you up, what we're about to do. Rarely any FaceTime calls were made. We were always doing something. It was hard to find time. We're out and we're busy. We're in the moment. Yeah, don't promise your best friend about FaceTiming them. Just surprise them while you're there. Yeah, we did FaceTime a couple times. But the relationships that I had here, yeah, I haven't had anything really super serious since my last relationship. Little fling here and there. But when I started traveling, I wasn't really leaving anything that was like solid. I was just, I was single and I wasn't leaving anything. I have some men that I am really close with that it's like, oh, damn, like I'm going to be a little far, but it was all good. Don't get attached or into a situationship while traveling.
Has that affected your travels?
Not really my travels. I still ended up traveling, doing what I want. But when you're traveling, you're constantly meeting new people. If you get a little boyfriend or girlfriend, then you're in this mini relationship. So you feel like, wait, I can't really do whatever I want now. I'm traveling. I want my freedom. Not necessarily because you want to go and be with a bunch of other people, but if I want to go 2 hours away, not to consider this person's feelings. When we're in a relationship, we're making decisions, not just what we want to consider the other person. I made that mistake twice. They had higher expectations from me. And then when things started getting more serious, wait, hold on. This is too much. I'm not ready to be in a serious relationship yet. We don't even live in the same country. So have fun, but be careful with sending too many cute text messages, making too many plans, getting too affectionate. Don't let that happen as much as you wanted to. Unless it's your soulmate and you're sure of it, take it from me. I learned the hard way. I don't like hurting people or myself, and that's what that leads to.
It seems like we're traveling. It's amazing. People are like, wow, I want to do what you're doing. You could do what we're doing, but it's not all roses and rainbows. There's probably some challenges. What is something that people don't talk about in that world?
The biggest challenge I found is it is extremely difficult to stay disciplined and on schedule while traveling. You're visiting a new place. You want to explore, meet people, do activities, go out. You have to be really strong to set time aside if you want your business to run. Or make money so you can sustain your travel while being in this new city or country or state that you really want to get to know. Willpower is difficult. Discipline. My first trip in Costa Rica, I did what I had to do. I did not put in any extra hours to optimize or refine, which are things I normally do.
You were having lots of fun in Costa Rica.
Oh, I had a blast. If I didn't need to be on my computer, if I didn't need to be on a call, it was emails and calls, and then boom, laptop was closing. With that being said, though, while my second trip in Costa Rica and being in London, I managed my time better. Beware of visiting new places and putting too much on your plate, thinking you're going to put it in all this time willingly. No, set up the plan, set up the appointment with yourself on the calendar, because you're going to need that extra piece of organization and push with discipline. That was difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. When I travel, I usually travel to places where I know people, friends and family. Last summer, I was in Switzerland, which is a beautiful country, and my friends like showed me around. And I went to Poland to see family, and I had a lot of client meetings, and the friends and family want to hang out, and you got to balance that and have time. Sometimes it's hard to work on your own stuff and to level up your business, because they'll see, okay, you're working with a client, but unless you really own your calendar and be like, I'm working on my business, they'll see, oh, you're done with your client? come have dinner, come hang out, come, let's go check out this place. So I felt like I was just like client, family, friends, client, family, friends. I never had time to just recharge, and my energy was getting drained by the end of that summer. You have to be disciplined and have that willpower to take time for yourself, block off your calendar for your own things, not just for clients, for your friends and family, and for exploring.
And to recharge, like you said, it is energy consuming being on these calls and then being on the go. Where's the time to rest? Not only setting time aside to work on your business, but to develop some routine and help you be with yourself and recharge, because you'll need it.
Yelina, you shared a lot of good insights today, reflecting on your journey, on everything you've been through. What's something that you're most proud of? And then what is some nuggets of wisdom that you could share for those who are just starting their journeys as an entrepreneur?
Something I'm most proud of, not quitting. When I quit my corporate job and started this, I was like, I will never have an office scheduled job again. And I've stuck to that, even where there's times where I felt like things aren't going to work out or something. I'm like, no, if I quit, then I'm not going to get to where I want to be. The journey is awesome. I love this path. But of course, it 100% comes with challenges. Just traveling does, to be real. Golden nuggets, it's impossible to fail if you don't quit, right? I guess I'm saying some quotes here. I rather get a no than live in the unknown. Fear of failure or rejection is your biggest enemy, both with business and life. You want to go up to that girl, go up to that guy, just go do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Maybe they say yes, but if you didn't ask, you
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And limit your distractions. The people that surround you really have an effect for sure. If I'm a little too distracted, it's because I'm doing things with people that are distracting and are not aligned with my goals. So it doesn't mean you have to be like a nun and sit in your room 15 hours a day on your laptop. I've been on both extremes. I've been all the way to one side where all I'm freaking doing is work, still like healthy and fitness, but no social life or fun really. And then I've been on all the other side as well, where I'm having way too much fun and it's taking a toll on my business and health.
I've seen all the Yelinas.
Find your center.
Yeah, I've definitely seen you just hustling so much, so hard, not really having that much fun. All of a sudden you're in Costa Rica having so much fun, and I'm like, are you even working?
The answer was I was barely working. I burnt myself out completely and started traveling. I wanted to do that for years and finally living it. And
you did that experience.
Also, I needed that for sure. That's why now I'm still going to be away from home for the next 5 months and then 6 months after that. But I'm staying stable in one place. Guys, traveling with luggages and your dog is a lot.
Yeah, that's a big thing I promote too. I'm all about traveling. I'm more like go to a destination and stay there for a long while. Have some stability, not like changing locations every week or whatever.
Yeah, the least we did was 3 weeks. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool, Yelina. It was nice talking to you. You shared a lot of insight and your journey is very inspiring. So I hope that people are feeling pumped. And if they are, where can they find you? Can you tell them once again? And also, what can they check out? Just remind them.
Yeah. So I'm on TikTok and Instagram mostly. I have YouTube, but haven't been as active. Hey, this is me holding myself accountable. I'll be more active.
You could put this on your channel if you want.
I should put this on my channel. And yes, I've got great resources in my Stand Store link. I've got a guide if you want to start monetizing your socials and getting paid partnerships with brands, travel companies, Airbnbs, hotels, hostels. I've also got guides on my page created by Ted that have helped me get to where I am today. I'm not just going to remake what he has, just going to lead you to the source. Yeah, Yelly's Belly. It's funny. I was thinking about changing my username, but I don't know. Yelly's Belly is like a thing.
That's like me with Raw Kuba. I was thinking of changing it because I just want to be Kuba, but I don't know. It's like a thing. Ted himself is fruitarian. He's keeping it because it's such a legendary name.
I was going to tell you, raw Kuba doesn't necessarily have to be raw fruit. It can mean you being like raw, real ass person on socials.
Yeah, which is a goal of mine to be more and more of.
Yeah, perfect. Like, yo, I'm raw Kuba. Like, I keep it real.
Just be myself and do more authentic.
Exactly.
Spit some raw, real freestyles. Thank you.
So there you go. You don't need to change it. Thank you. This was fun. Hope this was some sort of inspiration or motivation for anyone. I'm always creating to inspire. It's been on my bio for years. And that's the goal here. Whether you want our help or not, you got this.
Just take action and start posting, because otherwise people won't know you. Like Yelina said, just starting posting gets people to know you, build trust, and then they know you can help with their goals in whatever world you're in, whether it's health, relationships, wealth, pain, whatever.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love. See you next.
Ciao.